Welcome, welcome to the Bay Area Case Studies Virtual College Fair. We have an awesome lineup of institutions for you to hear from this evening. But before I turn it over to them, I have a couple of housekeeping items for you all. Number one, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphones are off. Our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. Two, there's a whole nother hour of these virtual college fairs. And so it's an excellent way to learn about lots of different schools in a short amount of time. You're gonna love this format. So I hope that you sign up for more sessions. And this session is being recorded. So all of the things that are happening tonight are recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/BACS. And we know you're going to have some questions tonight. And so our panelists want to make sure that you're able to get all of your questions answered. And so feel free at any point to put your question in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. Type out your question, but then also note the college or university that you're directing your question to so our panelists can answer that appropriately. Finally, this is what's called a 6x6 program, which means that every college only has 6 short minutes to share information with you about their institution. So we hope it's just enough that you'll want to make sure that you engage with them further to do more research. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the panelists. So first up, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from Amherst College. Take it away whenever you're ready, Lexi.
Hi, Courtney. Thank you. I'm going to put my timer on and then share my screen here with you all. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Alexandra Hurt. I go by Lexi. She, her pronouns, and I'm one of the Associate Deans of Admission at Amherst College. Amherst College is in Amherst, Massachusetts, which is in the western part of the state. So there is more to Massachusetts than just Boston. We're located about 3 hours north of New York City and about 2.5 hours west of Boston, and a beautiful, you can see a picture behind me here, small town area. The campus itself is right adjacent to the downtown area of Amherst, which is a few blocks long. You can walk right from outside of your dorms, and just a few steps away, a bunch of coffee shops, restaurants, pizza shops, different places to grab a bite to eat. There's a CVS in town, and lots of bookshops too, since we're a college town. The town next to ours, which is Hadley, Massachusetts, is where there are some more bigger box stores. So that's where you'd find your Target or your Panera and your Chipotle or your Starbucks, your Aldi, your Whole Foods, you know, all of those different kinds of places. And there's a free running public transportation system that looks like a city bus system called the PVTA that will get you around the whole entire area and to all the other campuses. You'll hear a little bit about that in the 5 colleges. Amherst itself, we consider ourselves a small, international, highly selective, liberal arts residential college. That's a big mouthful. We have about 1,850 students, and that's how we qualify as a small institution. We're an entirely undergraduate institution. That is something that we love. So if you're looking for a place that has a strong community, very small class sizes, known for close student to faculty interaction, that's one of our classrooms that you can see on the slide just there. A place like Amherst or a small liberal arts college is a great place to look. 70% of our classes have fewer than 20 students. We have a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio, and all of our faculty members teach. So when you go to an institution that is an undergraduate institution only, you know that all of the resources, all of the staff, all of the faculty, all of the research opportunities, they're going to our undergraduate students. And our faculty choose to work at Amherst because they really want to engage as advisors, as teachers, as mentors, and as friends to Amherst students as well. As a liberal arts institution, we don't have academic majors that are pre-professional in nature. So our majors are generally quite broad-based, looking at various things in the social sciences, humanities, the natural sciences, and mathematics, and foreign languages. They have a combination of theory and practicality combined with them, but really we hope that you're walking away with critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, and the ability to communicate. So we have a lot of students that think about really deep, big questions that are affecting the world, and our students are able to graduate and be really flexible thinkers, move across different industries. It's a skill set that we're developing instead of a specific knowledge base. But 80% of our students do go to graduate school. That's the bottom statistic on this slide here. And I point that out because at the graduate school level, that's when most of our students are choosing some of those pre-professional paths. We certainly have students that go on to get PhDs, but we have a lot of students that will end up going to medical school or law school or business school. And so the undergraduate education for Amherst is very sort of broad-based, thinking interdisciplinary, collaboratively, And then at that graduate school level is when many students will go on and pursue those more professional degree tracks. We have a wonderful career center that will help you think about those different issues. So a lot of statistics up there about our student body. As a residential campus, as a liberal arts campus, we really do think of education as a process. It's something that happens collaboratively, it happens together. We don't have a lot of classes where faculty members kind of sweep in, sort of do a lecture and then leave. You know, we think our education is really only as strong as the lived experiences, the identities, the voices, the representation, and the intersection of all of those different identities are at the table, because it's important to consider a range of different viewpoints when we're thinking about some of the most deep and complex issues that are out there affecting the world. A couple of things about Amherst that distinguish us from some of the other small liberal arts institutions, which I think are some helpful things to walk away from, especially tonight as you're hearing from a range of institutions. Amherst has something called an open curriculum. And what that means is that we do not have any general education requirements. We do not have distribution requirements. Students are required to be at Amherst for 4 years. You are required to be a full-time student. You are required to have a major, but you do not have to choose your major until the end of your sophomore year. So it really has a ton of flexibility. About 45% of our students do choose to double major. It makes it very flexible for students to study abroad, which is a very popular option as well. The open curriculum works well for students who maybe know exactly what you may want to study in college. It also works really well for students who want a lot of room to explore. So it really is an opportunity to think deeply about what excites you. What do you want to learn more about? Maybe take a few intellectual risks as well. And it is one of the most defining features that many students will talk about as essential to sort of their Amherst experience. The other aspect is that we are part of something called the 5 College Consortium. So we are really lucky that it's not just Amherst in the town of Amherst, Amherst College in the town of Amherst, but there are 3 other institutions in the town and then 2 additional other colleges in our consortium. And so once students are students at any of these institutions, they can cross-register completely free of charge at any of these institutions in the curriculum. At Amherst, it jumps your course offerings from about 850, which are in the Amherst College campus, to about 5,000 now that are available to you through the 5 College Consortium. There's about 30,000 undergraduate students that are right in our area. So when we think of us as a college town, that would be why. Socially, also a ton of opportunities to engage across campus with a lot of other students as well. So I will leave it there and hope to hear more from you and some of your questions in the chat.
Lexi, thanks so much to you and Amherst College. Audience, feel free to put those questions in the Q&A at any time. Type out your question and then also note the college or institution that you're directing your question to. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing Tulane University. Take it away whenever you're ready, Aiden.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great evening. My name is Aiden Cadley. I'm an admissions counselor here at Tulane University. We are a medium-sized liberal arts university located in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're in Uptown New Orleans, which is one of the neighborhoods in the city. We are a top academic, very selective university, and we like to think that we like to be selective for a specific reason, and that's because we want our students to be qualified to do whatever they want to pursue. So that's why at Tulane University, when you're applying to the university, you're not applying to a specific program, you're not applying to a specific major, you're just applying to the university in general. So if admitted to Tulane, you're admitted to all 5 of our undergraduate university schools. So that's our School of Business, our School of Public Health, our School of Science and Engineering, our School of Liberal Arts, and our School of Architecture. You can take any major, any one of our 75 majors. You can double major, you can triple major, you can double major, double minor like I did, and you will never have any worries in seeing if you can get that in your schedule or you can be approved to do it. I came to Tulane as a student. I'm an alum, graduated in 2017. I originally came to Tulane as theater and I was going to do pre-med. Turns out I was tone deaf and didn't like science. So luckily for me, I went to university where I could change to whatever I want to. I was able to graduate with degrees in English and film and minor in psych and bio. So the academic flexibility is truly second to none. We have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, so you're not gonna, feel like you're not really present with your professors. Our average class size is 18 to 22. I like to say that number is definitely lower because when you're gonna be a junior and senior, your classes will probably be no more than 15 students. My senior year, I never had a class of more than 8 students in each. So you get those real individual class size when I think it matters most. And that's when you're trying to do either your research or get these recommendations or just finish out the semester. And we have around 7,000 undergraduate students, which is a really nice size because I'm from New York, so I have moments where I want to be really social and also moments where I just want to act like I'm the only person in the world. And that medium size was really great for me because I'd see friends walking around campus half the time and also see students who I've never met before. And I sort of get to meet new friends or not feel this pressure to always be super social all the time, which I felt like was really great for me. We are a tier 1 research university. This doesn't mean that we just do research in the sciences, however. It basically just means we do research at a high level around only 30 universities in the country, tier 1 research institutes, and we're happy to be in that ranking. We give research going on in every single one of our majors at Tulane. That means we've got research in dance, we've got research in biomedical engineering. I did research in English as a Tulane student, and I like to believe that if I was able to do research in English, there's no reason any other major you can't do research in. And it's great because around 85% of students who want to do research get funding from the university to do so. So you have to spend no money out of pocket. You actually sort of get paid to do research, which is pretty cool. We have a great student experience. So we have around 750 different clubs. I feel like if you asked any one of my other presenters here tonight, they say the same exact number. The thing about us though is we do have Greek life. We are located in New Orleans, Louisiana. So some of you may think, oh my God, Southern Greek life, that's probably your entire social scene. It's not. Around only 35 to 40% of students do Greek life. So it's not something you need to do. And we have a spring rush. So if you are interested at all, you can take the fall and really determine if that's something you want to do. We have over 110 different study abroad programs in 40 countries. Any student can study abroad. The GPA requirement is very doable. It's only a 2.5 to go abroad. And basically any continent you want to go study abroad in except for Antarctica, we have a program. So if one of my peers tonight has a study abroad program in Antarctica, I would consider them over us just because we don't have that. But we do have Division I athletics. Every student has free tickets to every game. We've got Division I football team, baseball, basketball team. You get free tickets to all those events. The football team is actually now getting pretty good. When I was a Tulane student, we won a total of around 5 or 6 games in my 4 years. And last year we won 7 games alone. So that sort of makes me a little envious, but also really excited about the future of Tulane. And we also have club sports and intramurals as well. So if you're someone who wants to continue being athletic at a competitive level or more just a fun level with friends, you can do that here as well. We are a service institution as well, where we require community service. We're one of the first universities in the country to have a service requirement at graduation. Tulane every year does around 750,000 hours of community service. That could be anything from doing internships with local nonprofits to going and doing COVID vaccination site work. Me and a few students the other day volunteer at a local vaccination site downtown. Students were getting hours that way. So it's really cool. We are a real celebratory, engaged, really wholesome city where we want to help each other out. And it's really great because one of your service requirements at Tulane is actually an internship in your major. So you got to work with a local organization, be it business, English, whatever that may be. I got to do mine with the New Orleans Saints and work in the press office for them. So getting to say I interned with the Saints as a graduation requirement is by far one of the coolest things I can say about Tulane. And around 10 students get to do that every semester. So if you're someone who ever wants to work with a football team or a professional sports team, you can do that at Tulane. This is the reason I chose Tulane when I was y'all's age, the city of New Orleans. New Orleans is one of the only cities I feel like lives. It is my favorite place I've ever lived. I grew up in New York. I lived in Los Angeles. I just recently lived in Miami, Florida for the past 2 years as a teacher. And let me tell you, New Orleans is by far my favorite place. There's more festivals in New Orleans than there are days in the year. In fact, in the 220 days you'd be a Tulane student, there will be 310 festivals. So if you're looking for a place that's really exciting, where there's always stuff to do, Tulane, New Orleans is a great chance. And yeah, here's some little rankings we have. I don't want to go into detail about these. I think they're nice rankings, but at the end of the day, I think rankings aren't everything for a school. But you can see them on the screen. And yeah, y'all, thanks for tuning in.
Aiden, thanks so much to you and Tulane University. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you Goucher College. Take it away, Chris, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Courtney. Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Wild, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at Goucher College, and I use he, him pronouns. And thank you for joining us this evening. Goucher is located just north of Baltimore in the suburb of Towson. Towson is home to 2 colleges, including Goucher, a number of major retailers, restaurants, and social venues, all within a short walk or a quick shared ride from campus. Our central location provides access to a number of major cities. We're just 12 miles from Baltimore's Inner Harbor and downtown area, an hour to Washington, D.C., 90-minute drive to Philly, and 2.5 hours on the train to New York City. And we're only about 30 minutes from Baltimore Washington International Airport, making us accessible to students outside the region with ease. We were founded in 1885 by John Goucher and his wife, Mary Fisher, as the Women's College of Baltimore and located in downtown Baltimore. In honor of Dr. Goucher's legacy of providing education to marginalized populations, the college was renamed in his honor in 1910. His early commitment to social justice, global education, and innovation remain pillars of a Goucher education today. The campus moved to the suburb of Towson in 1940s due to the need for more space, and in 1986 went co-ed. In 2006, we instituted the requirement that all students study abroad, which we'll talk more about in a minute. We are a private 4-year residential liberal arts college dedicated to preparing students for the jobs of the future, those jobs that don't even exist yet. Our liberal arts education includes the sciences and a focus on critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, and communication, the very skills that are being sought by today's employers. We sit on 287 wooded acres and enroll about 1,100 undergraduate students and 700 graduate students from all around the country and around the world. We are a relaxed and friendly community where students are quick to say hello and professors know you both in and outside of the classroom. Our average class size is about 17 students with an amazing 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio. As I mentioned earlier, one of Goucher's pillars has always been innovation. This is demonstrated both in our classroom and beyond. Instead of a laundry list of general education requirements, our curriculum asks students to take a series of seminar, interdisciplinary, and proficiency-based courses that are adapted to their areas of interest. Our complex problem exploration courses ask students to tackle real-world current issues from an interdisciplinary perspective. For instance, the course Nations, Borders, and Immigration asks students to study immigration from the lenses of history, political science, international relations, sociology, and economics. Our institutional commitments to areas of justice, justice amongst people through race, power, and perspective, and justice amongst the natural world through environmental sustainability are encountered not in a single course, but throughout the entirety of a student's experience. We offer a variety of majors and minors that reflect the liberal arts and new ways of learning, thinking, and doing. In addition to adding 8 new majors this year, including education studies, engineering science, and professional and creative writing, we now offer 4+1 options to earn a Master of Science with Johns Hopkins Carey School of Business or an MBA with Loyola University in Maryland. A unique option, the individualized interdisciplinary major, allows students to create their own major by working with a faculty advisor and pulling courses from 3 to 4 of Goucher's existing programs. Another one of our pillars is a commitment to global education. Since 2006, Goucher has had a 100% commitment to incorporating a global perspective throughout a student's academic experience, which means 100% of our students study abroad. I can't tell you how different that makes us as an institution and the kinds of conversations we have in the classroom. Our study abroad options include semester-long experiences and intensive courses abroad, which are about 3 weeks and are led by Goucher faculty. And typically these experiences will take place during a student's junior year after they've declared their major or their minor. Community means many things to us. As a residential college, more than 80% of our students live on campus for all 4 years. First-year students live in the first-year village, a living and learning community that was designed specifically to foster collaboration and community building amongst our first-year class, and has a demonstration kitchen, performance studio, fire pits, tons of hammocks, and all the rooms there are doubles. Mary Fisher Dining Center is centrally located on campus, and our food service company uses about 30 different local farmers to supply us with fresh produce, antibiotic and hormone-free meats. And the dining hall is set up in a food station variety so that we can accommodate dietary needs in terms of vegan, kosher, halal, allergen-free, and gluten-free. Goucher is a diverse community that reflects today's world. Students are attracted to Goucher because they can be their authentic selves. Successful students at Goucher are intellectually curious, passionate about social justice, and have an eagerness to experience the world. Outside of the classroom, our students are incredibly engaged in more than 60 different clubs and organizations, Division III athletics that include 10 women's sports, 8 men's sports, and a nationally ranked equestrian team, among esports, intramural sports, and other club sport options. We offer an individualized and holistic admissions process that is test optional and free of an application fee. We think it's ridiculous that colleges charge $50, $60, $80, $100 just to apply to the college. And additionally, all students are automatically considered for a merit scholarship during the review process. No extra hoops to jump through there. And students are able to apply using the Common App, which really streamlines the process for our students. You have the option of applying either early action or regular decision, both of which are non-binding. And after the regular decision deadline, we continue to accept applications on a rolling basis as space is available. We are incredibly proud of the experience we offer at Goucher and have been lucky to be recognized for our commitment to social justice, global education, and innovation. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about us. Please visit our website, sign up for a longer version of this information session, and I hope to hear from you very soon. And with that, I will turn it back over to Courtney for our next presenter.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks to you and Goucher College. Aren't you guys having fun? I told you this was a really cool way to learn about multiple schools in a short amount of time. Next up, I'd like to present Miami University. Take it away, Larissa, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Larissa Marple. I am with Miami University, located in Oxford, Ohio. We are not the University of Miami in Miami, Florida. In fact, Miami University in Ohio was established before Florida was a state. We are located about 45 minutes north of Cincinnati, but are a true college town. Our name comes from the Miami Native American tribe that used to inhabit this area of Ohio. Some quick facts about our institution. We are a school of about 17,000 undergraduate students, but our average class size is only 30. So we like to say that we have the brains of a big university, the resources of a big university, but really the heart of a small school. Students may not necessarily know every student when they're walking across campus, but they will know every student that's in a class with them, and their professors will know them by name for sure. We have over 120 areas of study and 18 Division I varsity sports teams, along with over 600 student organizations. Our student body is extremely active and involved. No matter what your interest is, you will definitely find something at Miami University. I don't know that I've met a student that is involved in less than 2 student organizations outside of their academics. Additionally, about 63% of our students graduate with a minor or a second major. So if you're interested in multiple areas of study or you're not exactly sure what you want to do, that's no problem at all. We are happy to help you mix and match and make sure you graduate with a degree that is going to be best for you and your future career. We are liberal arts based, even though we're a public institution. So students will be taking classes in all different subject areas, and we kind of have a choose your own adventure curriculum plan for students in addition to their major requirements. We also have over 30 combined degree programs. So if students are wanting to complete a master's degree as well as a bachelor's degree at the same time, they can complete those in 4 or 5 years, depending on the program and the student themselves. All of those you would apply to after you, of course, are at Miami University and a current student, but some honors programs do get priority applications for those. Additionally, our professors are ranked top 5 in the country. You can see here that over 2,000 undergraduate students were working on funded research that is with a professor. Our professors are engaged. Over 80% of them are tenured full-time faculty members, and they are really going to get to know your students and help you no matter what area you want to go into after graduation. This is a picture of our campus. The poet Robert Frost said that it was the most beautiful campus that ever there was. And of course, we're biased, but we have to agree it is a gorgeous place to spend 4 years. We have a gorgeous campus of the big red brick buildings, kind of that idyllic campus setting. We have the big green quads. We do get all 4 seasons in Southwest Ohio. So this picture would have been taken probably sometime in the summer. The fall is absolutely beautiful. The leaves change colors. The winter does get a little bit chilly, but we are well equipped to handle the snow. And I like to say I'm from Texas, and I think if I survived the snow and the winters there and still love Oxford, anyone can survive and love it as well. And the spring is gorgeous. And then of course the summers are lovely as well. So great place to live for 4 years and really get to experience just a different part of the country. We are also consistently ranked as one of the best college towns in America. So pretty much everything in Oxford revolves around Miami itself. It is a great place to live. You can walk everywhere. The roads are beautiful red bricks. Students live on campus for 2 years, and then typically their 2 latter years in school, they would move off campus into houses that are just next to campus. Like I said, everything's walking distance. Those homes are all named. So if you go on a little tour of Google Maps, you can see some of those, which is really fun. It's just a great, great college community. Additionally, our academics are divided into 6 different areas. For the top 4 areas listed here, if you're accepted to Miami University, you are automatically accepted into your major, no ifs, ands, or buts. For the Farmer School, Business, and Nursing, we aren't able to admit every student just due to capacity, but they are direct entry programs. And if you are not admitted to those programs, you can still be admitted to Miami University and select an alternative major. For our application, we have deadlines of early decision, early action, and regular decision. Early decision is going to be our binding decision deadline, and students will get an answer within about 2 weeks. Early action is the same date, but you are not bound to the university. And then regular decision is our latter deadline. We always recommend that students apply by December 1st to be considered for merit scholarship and the maximum amount of aid. This is our accepted student profile, just so you can get a quick idea. We are test optional for fall 2022, and we really mean test optional. Merit aid, any type of honors program, selective program, etc., is test optional, and we will continue to promote equity in those practices. I also like to point out here that only about 43% of our students are actually from the state of Ohio. So even though we are a public institution, most of our students are coming from out of state or internationally. We have all 50 states that are represented and 68 different countries as well. We have something called a tuition promise. So if there are any families on here, just so you know, we keep the cost the same your first year as well as your fourth year. All 4 years you're at Miami University for 8 semesters, it's going to cost exactly the same. We do not alter tuition on students while they are in school. So that is just something that can kind of help with that planning as you move into your college career. And then lastly, I love to share some of our statistics about our graduates. Our students are extremely successful when they graduate. Over 96% are employed or furthering their education within 6 months of graduating. And then we have well above average law school and medical school acceptance rates. One of my other favorite statistics that is not on here is that students who are graduates of Miami University, we are in the top 10 universities that create Fortune 500 CEOs that are alumni. So that's a fun fact for the group, but I will hand it back to Courtney. Thank you for listening. I'll share my contact information in the chat and would love to talk with you further.
Thanks so much, Larissa, to you and Miami University. Next up, I have the pleasure of introducing to you St. John's University. Anthony, take it away.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Just give me one moment. I'll bring this up. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm here representing St. John's University today. And the first slide you see here is actually just a little glimpse into our Queens campus, located in the borough of Queens, of course. So different campuses that we have within New York City are the Queens campus, our Staten Island campus, which is a secondary smaller campus in the city of New York, and Manhattan. So one little note about the Manhattan campus is only for risk management, actuary science, and one little last piece, if you're a business student, you can choose you can choose to study Manhattan if you would like. The campuses that you see in blue, Rome, Paris, and Limerick, Ireland, are the ones that we have overseas. So you have a couple opportunities to study abroad as well on campuses that we actually own. Some of our key numbers, we have just over 17,000 students with a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, over 47 different states represented, as well as 123 different countries. We have over 180 different organizations on campus, as well as 17 Division I sports teams and 100 different majors available to you within our umbrella. This slide is just a breakdown of the colleges within the university. So we have our College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, College of Professional Studies, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Education, and lastly, Peter J. Tobin College of Business. For the honors program that we have available on our university, you don't have to apply separately. So when you're applying for admissions to the university, you will automatically consider it for the honors program. So if you meet the criteria for that particular year, you will receive an invitation that would just say, do you opt in or do you opt out? So make it pretty easy. For double majors, minors, and our multiple dual degree options, there are many, many different opportunities for that. You can't apply as an incoming freshman to those programs, but if you do have questions, if you ever apply to St. John's and you want to know more about those, definitely feel free to reach out to me and my team, and we'll be able to help out. So as I previously mentioned, we are a Division I sports school. This is just a list of our teams: basketball, cross country, fencing, golf, soccer, softball, tennis, track and field, and volleyball. Now, if you're looking to play a sport in college, but not necessarily on Division I NCAA level, we do have club sports available to you as well, so you can travel, or if you just want to play on campus, we have intramural sports as well. Studying abroad, so we have some of our staple programs here. The Global Passport program is actually a freshman program. So your first year, you could go to Rome or Paris for 7 days at the end of the semester, whether it be the spring semester or the fall semester, at your choice. Western Europe semester is actually our most popular program. So we spend 5 weeks in Rome, 5 weeks in Paris, 5 weeks in Limerick, Ireland. You take 2 courses in each country. So for example, if you start in Rome, you'll take 2 classes for 5 weeks. Once the 5 weeks conclude, you are completely done with those classes, then you move on to the next country. And one cool part about this is that you only have class Monday through Thursday. So when you study abroad for the semester program, every weekend is a 3-day weekend, which is pretty nice. And then we have also study abroad Latin America. So you can go to Costa Rica and Colombia. But one last important note, if you are interested in studying somewhere else in the world that's not listed here, you could definitely do that. Just have to reach out to Global Studies and we'll be able to set you up. Career placement. So we have a 94% employment rate after graduation. A lot has to do with our internship opportunities. So here's just a little short list of where students intern at. So we have sports represented with the Islanders, MLB. We have media represented with MTV, NBC, ABC, Disney. We have healthcare represented with Norfolk Health. We have law enforcement and criminal justice represented with the police department and FBI. So many different areas where students can get internships, which is pretty cool to see. Application requirements. We are on the Common App. We do have our own application as well. So it's a preference at that point. They're both free to apply. In terms of the admission numbers, our average GPA is a 3.5 weighted or a 90 out of 100 weighted, depending on your scale. For the test scores, it's a 1220 average SAT, 25 ACT. We are super score school, so if you take it multiple times, we will take that. But again, we are test optional as well. Now here listed, you see letters of recommendation, personal essay, and resume. It does say optional there. I always just tell all the students that I meet with, submit all those documents if you have them, whether you're going test optional or not. It will help your application either way, so definitely submit those. Application deadlines that we have, November 15th for early decision, December 1st for early action. After December 1st, we have our rolling admissions. The only 2 programs with a hard deadline are pharmacy and biooptometry, which have a hard deadline at February 1st. But like I said, any other major, if you apply after December 1st, we'll just read it as it comes and you'll get your decision. Merit awards are also automatic. So when you apply for admission, you will receive a merit award in your admission letter. For all these scholarships that have a deadline listed, which most of them say January 15th, that means they have a separate application. So if you are applying to St. John's and you're looking for extra aid outside of merit, definitely feel free to reach out to me and my team, and we'll be able to explain to you the different applications that we have for scholarships. Here's our Queens tuition and our Staten Island tuition, the 2 different campuses, although our scholarship packages reflect the difference in tuition, so your actual cost of attendance will roughly be the same, so don't worry about that big gap. And lastly, finishing up here, we have our visit page, stjohns.edu/visit. So you can take virtual visits. We actually have a live tour that you can do virtually, that you actually physically see the campus, which is pretty cool. But if you ever come to New York when things get a little bit better, we're definitely open to you visiting as well. And my name is Anthony. Once again, my information is there, and I'll also put it in the chat. But hope you guys have a good night.
Anthony, thanks so much to you and St. John's University. Our final presentation tonight will be from Bryn Mawr College. Kayla, take it away whenever you're ready.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Kayla Hamdani. I'm an admissions officer with Bryn Mawr College. Bryn Mawr College is a selective liberal arts college for women of around 1,300 students located in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. Probably wondering where Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania is. We're only around 15-20 minutes from Philadelphia, just a short train ride away from an amazing large city. So your opportunities academically and socially really are limitless. We like to say Bryn Mawr is a place where women claim in education. Often we ask our students to reflect on their Bryn Mawr experience. Many of them say that when they were sitting where you are, they weren't interested in Bryn Mawr because it's a women's college. Maybe they like the community or rigorous academics, but after being here and experiencing this empowering environment, they say they would choose Bryn Mawr all over again because it is a women's college. Now I'll talk a little bit about our academic opportunities. Students are encouraged to explore their interests and passions, and our core curriculum takes an innovative approach. So we don't have traditional requirements like Math 101 or English 102. Instead, we have our approaches to inquiry. These help students develop vital and transferable skills that prepare them to live global and diverse communities. Students often find a major, a minor, or even a career interest through taking a course to meet a requirement. Our students are really excited by the challenging and engaging coursework and research, strong bonds with students, faculty, and alumni, innovative programs that connect study with action, and top-tier partnerships that expand options we have here. Our most popular majors are mathematics, psychology, biology, English, and computer science. So now I'll talk a little bit about opportunities outside of our campus, because student learning and engagement really does go beyond our campus. We're part of an active consortium with Haverford College, Swarthmore College, and the University of Pennsylvania, all which expand opportunities students have access to academically, professionally, and socially. You'll find that 77% of students will complete at least one internship in Philadelphia or beyond. So that may include Washington, D.C. or New York. Our Career and Civic Engagement Center has $750,000 available in summer funding for students as well. We have 20 combined degree programs, most of which allow students to earn their undergraduate and graduate degrees in just a shorter amount of time. Finally, we also offer more than 90 pre-approved study abroad programs, in addition to summer abroad and our 360 experience. So our students are leaders because at women's colleges, leadership is not the exception, it is the norm. Every position of power and opportunity are accessible to women, from our self-government association, which is the oldest in the country, research opportunities, internships. Our students really are actively engaged in problem solving and affecting change. Next, I'll talk a little bit about our programming that we offer, a few of our programs, one being Thrive, which is a first-year course. This course is required for all first-year students just to help you get acclimated to what college life is like. We recognize for first-generation students, their background surrounding college may look a little bit different. Therefore, we also offer a Thrive course specifically for first-generation students. Some of our other resources for first-gen students include Breaking Barriers, which is a mentorship program, different first-generation and low-income workshops, as well as emergency funding. Finally, we also have something called the Community Day of Learning. Typically, when we're on campus, that is a day where everyone puts down what they're doing for the entire day. That includes students, faculty, and staff, and talk about different diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts on campus. For this academic year during the pandemic, that's been in the form of teach-ins, which were spread out throughout the entire academic year. Finally, I'll talk a little bit about our admissions process. I strongly encourage you all to maybe take a picture of this slide just to have that information handy. We have 2 early decision deadlines of November 15th and January 1st, and a regular decision deadline of January 15th. Bryn Mawr has been and will continue to be test optional for US citizens and permanent residents. When you go to apply for financial aid, we require the FAFSA and the CSS profile, and we meet 100% of demonstrated need. That's why we ask you to complete those 2 applications, and that need is met through loans, grants, merit aid, and work study. Finally, I strongly encourage you to follow us on social media so that way you can get that insider perspective of what student life is like. And do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions, as well as any of the admissions officers that you've connected with today. Thank you all for listening.
Kayla, thanks so much to you and Bryn Mawr College. Now I'm going to ask or invite all of our panelists to turn back on their cameras. This is a group of really experienced admissions professionals, also ones who love their institutions. And so I'm going to give them the option to either one, share a fun fact or a favorite tradition or event on campus, or they might choose to share some of their advice to those of you that are getting ready to launch your college search process. So we'll go round robin in the same order that you presented originally. So Amherst up first.
All right, I will choose a little bit of advice just to switch it up from my other pieces. And this part of the college search process is super exciting, but it also might be stressful. There's a lot going on, and I want to have you honor that when you're feeling that, but also know that there are so many institutions out there at which you could thrive. So you guys are all attending these programs. You're being really thoughtful right now. You have wonderful college counselors who we've all worked with over the years. And so if you're thinking about the process and listening to advice, know that you are going to have some options at the end of this process, and it's going to be really exciting. And that at a range of schools, you're going to find some great success.
Yeah, I'll do a piece of advice as well. My biggest one is being genuine. I feel like that's something that you guys feel like you can't be. I feel like a lot of you feel like you have to tell me what you found on our website because that's what I want to hear. I typed that on the website. I don't need you to tell me it again. Like, I want you to tell me why you're interested in the school. What about the school is engaging? Like, I want to genuinely, especially when it comes down to, a lot of us are selective universities when it comes down to when we read your application. We want kids who are there who we genuinely want to know who will be there. So just be genuine throughout this process. Be yourself. Because honestly, I personally like that a ton when I read applications. I like reading someone who genuinely wants to be at my university than someone who just tells me what they think I want to hear. So yeah.
I'll mix it up and offer a favorite campus tradition. One of my favorite traditions at Goucher happens at the beginning of every academic year. We have this big opening celebration ceremony, and a lot of colleges will start off with kind of a convocation, which tends to be a little bit more formal. Faculty are wearing their robes and all, and ours is just a big like, which class has the most class spirit. They're all decked out in their class colors. And then it turns into a giant community picnic where we're welcoming our new students to campus, welcoming the returning students back, sharing a meal together, and just kind of kicking off the start of the academic year on a fun and light note.
And we'll also do a favorite campus tradition. And for me, it is that we have something called Charter Day Ball, which is once every 4 years. And it's a celebration of current students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Just a really great way to celebrate the interconnectedness of Miami students and alumni, and a really just awesome day and weekend to celebrate being at such a wonderful institution. So it's a great time. Every student gets to go once while they're a student, and then as many times as they would like to as an alum.
I'll go with a piece of advice. So I would say when you're doing your research, try to think outside the box. So don't just think about the typical things that, you're looking at college, like the rankings, academics, where they rank here and there. Because at the end of the day, when you make the decision, this is 4 years of your life, you really want to feel comfortable. I compare it to when I go on vacation. I'll be very honest. I like research like a madman, because when I'm picking a resort or a hotel, I want to be comfortable. Like, I don't want to go there, then it's a horrible experience because I'm paying money for it. So it's essentially the same kind of concept. You're spending 4 years, and your life will change in those 4 years. So, just outside of this numbers and typical things that you hear about schools, like, what is good about that school to you personally? So that'll be my piece of advice in terms of how you're doing your research.
And finally, I'll just echo all the pieces of advice that were shared. I think they were amazing, but I'll go along the path of sharing a fun fact. So every 4 years, we have a Hogwarts themed dinner, because people like to say campus looks like Hogwarts. So in the Great Hall, faculty and staff dress up as different characters from Harry Potter, and the students participate in this really cool dinner surrounding the theme.
Thank you so much, guys. And audience, I hope that you got the feeling from these professionals that they really care about you, and there's someone like them at all of the colleges and universities that you are considering. So don't hesitate to reach out to them. There is an awesome institution out there for each and every one of you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. There's a quick 4-question survey as you close out. We hope that you'll provide us with some feedback. There's still 1 more hour of sessions, so if you're still interested and you enjoy this format, sign up for additional sessions. And this was recorded, and all the programs tonight will be available at strivescan.com/BACS. Thanks so much, everyone, and best wishes with your college search. Bye-bye.